Time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with Jean Jacques Machado, Master Jean Jacques Machado. Thank you so much for coming out to visit us here at Valley Martial Arts Center. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, and it's extension of my house here, the VMAC. I'm very pleased and happy to be here, see a fantastic job Marcel and John doing over here. You just see the growth of the school and the quality of the students they have. I'm very proud of them, and I'm looking for another 100 years.
100 years, oh my goodness. Have you told people about this? Have you told people that you want to keep it going?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to pass 100 years, for sure. I know Marcel and John for almost 15 years, and I'm looking for another 25. I'm very happy to see the growth and how far John and Marcelo.
Absolutely, and it's always great to, whenever you go to places, you just tell them your Jean Jacques lineage, and everybody always, they smile, they get excited, so that's a true testament to you and the legacy that you've gone ahead and put for us. What do you do when you decide that you're going to put somebody into affiliation and go to do a seminar? What goes through your mind? Like, what do you plan in order to teach people on that day?
On the past, I used to make notes, writing down, but today is a matter of when I arrived into the place, somehow the energy that I get, it's the techniques that I'm going to base on for the seminar. It's something that looks like you turn a little button. Yeah. You press a little button and you kind of guide through one technique and you start linking to another. Then you have the questions, evidently, which is very helpful to the students, evidently to me also. But it's something that today is, as soon as I walk in, I look around, see the face, I know what I'm going to be showing.
I have to say, you answered a very good question for me, and it's been a huge, huge thing. The reason I had to ask a question, if I can be completely honest.
Yes, please.
All of the guys.
You gotta be honest.
I know, but I think it's very important you know this. One of the reasons I felt compelled to ask a question is, you answered all of my training partners' questions on things that I do. So none of them ratted me out, but when they were like, who does this all the time? That's me. So when they're saying, who does this all the time? I was like, these guys are getting all their tricks to get ready to go with me. So it's not even like I'm rolling against them. Now I'm rolling against you, and that's terrifying.
No, that's the whole idea. Is each one question, it's a learning process to me also. It's something that I review. But also in the schools, that's the most common thing is all the partners that they have problems with, they point, hey, he does that. Then he goes, oh, but he does that. In a way, everyone game level, just move up. And that's the whole idea. And better you get, better your partner is going to get.
That's so great. And I have to ask this, what do you think has changed? Because you've seen so many different things change within Jiu-Jitsu. What is one of the biggest changes that you've seen, just seeing it continue to grow right now as a giant sport? But what are the things that stand out to you that has changed so much about it?
Evidently, one thing that we have the technology that we have today, it's unbelievable. What we're doing right now, I don't know, so many people, thousands of people around the world are watching us talking right now.
I don't know about thousands. They watch you in thousands.
No, they do, but I think it's the speed of learning. Yeah. The techniques today are a lot quicker than when I was blue belt. I think the informations that are out there, it's very hard for you not to learn Jiu-Jitsu and get good in a very fast pace.
Now, I notice you're so active on Instagram and on your social media and with your online presence. How much interaction are you getting from other people from other places that you necessarily can't be in every single day?
You know, I have questions from people, especially I have my online training. People from all over some countries that I never knew even exist. Now I know they have questions regarding their techniques, like a seminar we just did. They send me questions, I film the questions, send back to them, and we make that exchange, and it's just a non-stop growing Jiu-Jitsu on this planet.
I have to ask, one of the things that's been changing so much has been the implementation of submission-only kind of tournaments. What are your thoughts on those, just in terms of how you've seen the competition game evolve over the past few years?
I think the main reason we're going to a tournament is to see a submission. The level of the competitors are getting very, very high, and it's not that easy sometimes in 10 minutes. And we see a lot of good fights, and we see fights that you can tell the opponent is just fighting for a minor advantage. I think the mindset change will take even a few years more for the next generation to be brought up with this submission only. It's just a matter of time. But I'm so happy that most of the events today are applying that, which is fantastic. I think it's going to make our sport even more entertaining.
Do you see a higher finish rate in those than you used to from different tournaments, or how does that look to in that realm?
I think on the past 2 generations, maybe more, of fighters, they all brought up in the tournament mode. Nothing wrong with that. But their mindset, the way they fight is a little different than my generation. And it will be different from the generation that are on the way with the submission mentality. And I think it will be something that, as I'm going to see a boxing match, I don't want to see just punching exchange. I actually want to see a knockout. And I think more and more, the way the new generation sees Jiu-Jitsu is completely towards submission.
I have to ask this because I'm so intrigued. Who are the people that stand out to you when you see their names in a match, or you see their names doing something, whether it be an instructional? Who are those people that you look to that you go, oh, that's pretty interesting?
Man, if I say few names, I'll be leaving out so many great names out there. I think I love Jiu-Jitsu. I love the art of Jiu-Jitsu. And when I see anybody doing Jiu-Jitsu, I'm very interested to see from a white belt to maybe already a world champion name. I think everybody has something that you can enjoy and learn from regardless their level in Jiu-Jitsu. That's what is amazing in Jiu-Jitsu. I have blue belts. Sometimes I have better positions than a higher belts. That position from these guys, I want to learn that too. And I learn even from the new generation, the new guys that are upcoming are making me better. And that's the awesome thing in Jiu-Jitsu. It's not a specific name. I think we're very enthusiastic. We want to see a good Jiu-Jitsu match.
I always laugh because, to vouch very quickly for headquarters, a lot of your blue belts that come out of there, they're proficient, they're clean, and the best part about it is their fundamentals are so strong. And that's what I always feel so glad about when I go from different academy to different academy throughout the Jean Jacques Machado, any of the academies through them, is that you always see, even though there's a little bit of difference to what they do, everybody's fundamentals seem to be very strong.
The way I learn Jiu-Jitsu is I want to make sure everybody has a very solid foundation. Then after they reach a certain level, purple belt, brown belt, they will be able to create their own game. But they are very solid on their foundation, their principles of the techniques, and they will be able to develop their own Jiu-Jitsu from that point on. That's why in our school we don't have one guy who does one good technique. It's so diversified that makes everybody be very aware of endless movements out there. But I want to make sure that they understand the principles of Jiu-Jitsu, the very basic of Jiu-Jitsu, which will make him just better and better.
You said something today that really, really started to resonate with me, and I wanted to start to close in on this, which was this. When you're looking at Jiu-Jitsu isn't supposed to be made necessarily for every single person at every single element. You have to find what your Jiu-Jitsu is and make it work for you. Yeah. And so I thought that was so great. Where did you come up with that from, and how did that become a philosophy for you?
I'm born with one hand. And I went to Jiu-Jitsu and learned the same way my brother learned. I have a very solid foundation. But through the years of training, I have to find the techniques that worked better for me. Our objective is the same, to go to the end and get somebody an armbar and a choke. But how we get there is what makes Jiu-Jitsu unstoppable in terms of development. And I think we can't change who we are, but we can make Jiu-Jitsu fit on who we are. And that's the fantastic thing in what we do. Doesn't matter how strong, how small, what challenge you have, I promise you, Jiu-Jitsu fits perfectly on you.
So great. My favorite joke to always say to people is whenever they show a move and it looks really highly proficient, I go, well, what am I supposed to do? That looks like 15 steps. I need 3. That's about as much as I can retain up here. But, I have to say this. On behalf of everybody here at Valley Martial Arts Center, it was a huge thrill to have you come here and share your knowledge with us, because I know so many people are just so happy to see you here, and you do bring a great element and vibe to our academy.
This is my house too, and I'm planning to come many, many more times and see John, Marcelo. And once again, congratulations to VMAC for the fantastic job they're doing. this is definitely one of my powerhouse in my school in Jiu-Jitsu. And if you're around the area, you're not coming training here, North Hollywood, you're missing a good Jiu-Jitsu school right here. I hope I see you here next time.
Oh man, I don't think there's any better way to end than that. Then I'll tell you this, if I land that move that you taught me here today, I will be sure to tag you as the first person when that happens.
And I know that's going to happen next class very soon.
All right, now I'm going to go get out there and train because he said everybody needs to train. I'm going to go do that. Jean-Jacques, thank you so much for your time, sir. Hey, keep it locked here at verbaltapcast.com for more information, you guys.
Stay tuned.